Hey guys, it's Elizabeth, Finding Elizabeth. I just recorded a 10-minute teary video that wasn't recording, which is probably good. There's probably a point to that. Anyway, cheers. Happy Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Day. It is Monday, January, I think 16th, 2017. This is my, I believe, week 144 post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy update. I don't have a wait today. The Mahonies were here visiting, and I didn't, they were getting ready in the bathroom where the scale was, and I didn't think about weighing before we went to the airport, and then I had coffee and water, and so I didn't weigh. But I can tell you it's probably not great. I'm probably the same as where I was last week, which I don't have my notes in front of me, but I think was like 209 something. So, but the bottom line is, over the last 3 years, I have lost about 200 pounds, which is fucking incredible. So I don't know why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling today, which is really sad and emotional. And it's around this weight loss journey. And I can't quite pinpoint what it is. I mean, I know I'm not happy with where my weight is. It had been between 200 and 205 for like a year and a half, and over, the last, I don't know, month or 6 weeks, it's bumped up to the between 205 and 210 than between 200 and 205, and I really don't like that. I thought it was a fluke at first, but it's been there sort of to stay. I feel like I've been, so last week I said that 2 weeks ago, so I'm like, I say this every time, but I'm a believer in like change one thing until you get that down and then change something else. So a couple weeks ago, I started tracking in MyFitnessPal. I had done that consistently. I actually stopped a couple days ago. I'm going to start again in the morning. My goal for last week was to do 3 body pump classes. I did not do that either. I did one last Monday. It was amazing. It felt incredible. It felt so good to be lifting weights again. So it felt really good during the class. The next day, I died totally. When I was leaving the class, because she had asked in the beginning if it was anybody's first time, because they like change weights and stuff like that. So I had no idea what I was doing. So I said yes, it was my first time. And then at the end of the class, she was like, "Oh, I had no idea you were gonna stay for the whole thing, or you were gonna do the whole thing." I'm like, "Well, I didn't know that not doing the whole thing was an option." I actually could do every single thing in the class except they did like regular push-ups, which I have never been able to do. I can do wall push-ups and like push-up, like, I don't know what you call them, incline push-ups, but I have never been able to do like a real push-up. And this was a real push-up after, 45 minutes of lifting weights. So yeah, that didn't happen, but that was the only thing I could do. It felt great to be doing it again, but afterwards I was sore. Really, I think today is the first day I haven't been sore. So I did not work out all week, which is not good. And it wasn't just, it was a conscious decision on my part. It wasn't just because I was sore. There were times when I could have gone, but I chose not to. So, I guess I'm just feeling a little disappointed in myself right now. I don't like where my weight is. I don't like the way my clothes are fitting. The tears are like really on the surface today, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm feeling like the fat girl again, and I haven't felt that way in a really long time, and I don't like the way it feels. Over the summer, Melly May did a video, and I believe that I believe the baseline of the video was about drinking too much, but she was talking about how like a year before or whatever, she had been so happy and where her life was, and that she was worried she was wasting this opportunity. And, you guys who watch me for all know I was in a dark place this summer. And when I watched that video over the summer, I lost it. I was crying hysterically. And I'm sort of feeling that same way right now. Not about drinking, although I am having champagne. But the champagne's going after tonight because I'm not going to do keto, but I'm going to limit my carbs to try to be 50 carbs a day for a little while because I have just kicked up a lot of carb addiction lately. And you guys know, once you start it, it's really hard to nip it in the bud. So, so I'm going to reduce my carbs and track my carbs and keep them down below 50 for a while. So the champagne has to go if I'm doing that. But anyway, that video crossed my mind today, and I was thinking that maybe I'm feeling that way now in terms of thinking back on how happy I was a year ago, and not having made any progress from a weight loss perspective, actually gone back a little bit, because I've gained a few pounds, not a lot, but 2 or 3 pounds, which is nothing compared to 200 pounds, but it's the idea that that's happening. And because I haven't been strength training the way I did initially, my clothes are fitting differently, in a way that I really don't like. I feel like my stomach is sticking out, and I really hate it. And I'm really, I don't know, I'm really just afraid I'm screwing this up, and I don't want to do that. And I'm feeling a little jaded in general, and I'm wondering, because for me, and I know this is sort of ridiculous to talk about this when we're talking about the infinitesimal amount of pounds that I'm talking about when you consider that I used to weigh 400 pounds, but part of me is starting to wonder if it has something to do with relationships with men, because that really was my driving. That was what I believe drove me to get to, like, what Les of Sarah calls circus freak fat. I had always, struggled with my weight, but until I had my son, I separated from his dad, and I started to worry because my mom had been someone who always put men in front of her kids. I think I started to worry that I might do that, and it was something that I never wanted to do. So, after I gained, a good 180 pounds after my son was born, and this thought just sort of hit me today because I have, I've been dating dating post-heartbreak since like September. I can't even remember how many dates I've gone on. I can't even remember the names of the people. I'll forget the people. I have been on so many dates, and there hasn't been a single one where I felt chemistry or connection with the person. And so I've been thinking about that. I had been seeing someone that I was dating last year, but it was really a very sort of casual thing. And I'm very actually proud of myself for this, because I got to the point with me where I didn't feel like I could continue the relationship the way it was, that I felt like, you're going to have to invest a little bit more time in this. I know you're a busy person, but I can't go deeper with this, and it's starting to feel uncomfortable if we're not spending a little bit more time together. So, and I actually told him that instead of just like not dealing with it, which is what I would usually do. And, yeah, I just kind of put it out on the table. Said, I realized, we've been upfront with each other since the beginning. I know what your situation is. And, I just feel like I've passed the point where I can continue to do this if we're not spending more time together. And it all ended very well. He responded very nicely. He said I was a great communicator, which I thought was very sweet. And we just sort of mutually agreed that that was done. And that is the first time I've ever in my life done that. And that felt very mature. But I don't know if I'm so afraid to, to sort of get back out there that I may be sabotaging myself a little bit. And I could be overthinking it. But you know what? I talk about what's coming to mind, and that's what was coming to mind today. So anyway, I don't want to come on here and say I'm going to do all these things and then I don't do them. I really hate that. It really, I don't feel like I feel like I'm disappointing myself. I feel like I'm disappointing you guys. So I'm actually not going to say what I'm going to do this week. I'm just going to keep it to myself. And then I'll report back on it next week with a weight. What else is going on? So, I find, so Gracie's here, staying here with me. The Mahonies were here this weekend. And I just realized, because I've been on my own, living by myself for the last 2 years, And I realized that this is sort of a time for me while Gracie's here. I mean, I've actually had people here since like the week before Christmas. And I used to think that I couldn't be around people that much. And like, I miss Gracie. She's not home from work yet. I miss her. I enjoy being with her. But what I realize is there's lots of things that I do for my sanity that I've stopped doing since she's been here. Not because she's asked me to, not because there's been a conflict, but just because I've chosen not to. And then I think this is the time for me to figure out how to take care of myself, even when I'm being there and being there for and being around other people. So I think that's what this particular time in my life is for, and I appreciate the opportunity to kind of try that out and do the things that are important to me, even if there are other people around. Am I making any sense? I don't know. Anyway, I want to, it was Amy's 2-year surgiversary a couple days ago, so I want to send her a big happy surgiversary. She made a great video today about how she's looking at her journey and what comes next. I think there's a lot of good information in there. I will put it in the description box below so you guys can watch it. And what else? I don't know. Congratulations to the Mahonies and Christina Schultz for running the Disney Half Marathon. I'm blown away by that. Hopefully I will be doing that myself a year from now. Yeah, and keep it on. So on the book group that I haven't moved forward with, I have most of the notes on the first chapter, and my intention is to make a video tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this as often as I thought I was, but I'm going to keep trying because doing this stuff is important to me, and being part of this community and showing up for you guys is important to me because you have all shown up for me in really incredible ways. So I just want to say thank you for that. And I will probably talk to you tomorrow with a video on the first chapter of the book on becoming. Okay, you guys have a great week. Thanks. Bye.